Oops, don't mind me. I'm just ordering something from Amazon Internet. Let me ask you a question. Are you afraid of elevators? Probably not, because you're a sane, normal human being. Now, by the off chance that you are terrified of elevators, boy, are we gonna be watching a scary movie for you. That's right, people, we're doing a movie review. We are reviewing a movie, and it's not a good movie. This is a bad movie review. The movie review itself is not bad, at least I hope it's not bad, but the movie itself is bad. So the hour to hour and a half of misery that I'm gonna put myself through for you guys is called The Lift. Now, for the four of you who don't know what a lift is, it's an elevator. This is a horror movie about an elevator. I'm not even joking. I'm not even joking. This is a horror movie about a killer elevator. It's funny because if you look at the original 1988 movie poster for this film, you actually might not think the elevator's the killer. You might think that this guy's the killer. You know, that's kind of a good plot. This killer lives in the elevator shaft. That's kind of a good idea. No. That's not the killer. That's the killer. The elevator. The elevator's the killer. This is, at this point, if you don't understand the ridiculousness of this, you're not gonna get it at all. The bad guy in this film is an elevator. So the film is originally a Dutch film. Now we're gonna actually be watching the English dubbed version, which makes it so much better, because I don't know if there's a translation gap or if Dick Moss, the writer and director and Chris's lesser known brother, had bipolar, or if he just was like not good at writing scripts and dialogue, because there are so many abrupt shifts in plot and in dialogue. We'll talk about more about that later. And also, full confessional, this is not the actual Dutch film. This is literally just a blank case. I didn't buy the film. Okay. All right, so we're gonna start the movie here, and this is gonna be a weird request, but just hold your breath. All right, it's gonna make sense in a second. Just hold your breath. You're not gonna want to be breathing during this first shot. Just hold your breath. All right. 3, 2, 1.
5,000 eggs every morning? Brother, that's what I call an omelet. I'm coming over next time you serve breakfast.
Our roosters would just go wild. Caw, caw.
Literally, the opening dialogue is chicken-related humor. It's gonna be a great film. It's gonna be a great film. So inevitably the scene goes on for way too long. Eventually the restaurant staff kick them out. And I'm not even convinced that the restaurant staff didn't even kick them out in like real life. Like, they probably got kicked out from filming there.
You can go home in the taxi if you want to.
The Fab Four get into an elevator. The building gets hit by some questionably real lightning. And then everything gets quite confusing. It gets confusing because you can't see anything. Like you actually can't see what's happening. I mean, this is literally like a 3-minute scene. You have no idea what's happening. I mean, I'm not even joking. I actually had to bring this scene into my editor to digitally brighten it up so I could even see what was happening. And I kid you not, I brighten up the shot. And what do I see? There are literally people having sex in this elevator.
Too damn hot.
Jesus, it's like a sauna in here.
I'm gonna start bringing out more scenes I can't see in movies. What's happening in the shadows? Huh? What's happening in the shadows of all these movies? And as soon as you're able to see anything, the scene ends and you will never see those people again. Because that whole first 10 minutes had nothing to do about the movie. I'm not even joking. So the movie starts now. We're introduced to our main character, Felix Adelard. What occupation might you think Felix is? Do you think he's a cop? Do you think he's a boxer? Maybe an assassin? Well, those are all wrong. I'll give you a hint. It rhymes with elevator repairman. That's right, people. The hero of this film is an elevator repairman. I mean, honestly, what do you expect? The bad guy's an elevator. Of course, the good guy, the hero, is gonna be an elevator repairman. The thing is, this film's a serious film.
Felix.
Yeah.
Honestly, Felix. You know, you could get him something without batteries for a change. Something quiet, like a book.
Why?
Well, for me. You don't have to listen to that noise all day long. I do.
Okay, so this lady keeps yelling at Felix because he keeps buying like loud toys for the kids. And she's like, why can't you buy them a book or something? 53 seconds later, not even a minute, not even a minute, 53 seconds later in the film, the kid, I kid you not, the kid is reading a book and gets yelled at.
Bertie, don't read at the table. You should be doing that in school. Karen, eat your breakfast.
Pop? Will I grow hair on my chest when I'm older?
What is this film?
Big girls don't get hair, they get lump.
What are those?
Chest things. I heard about them in school, but I don't know their names.
Breasts.
What is life? You gotta learn this film. I'm out. Now, the one positive thing I will say about this film is you never know what's gonna happen, right? You never know what's gonna happen in this film because it follows no sound reasoning or logic. Okay, so for example, the kid is seen in this scene pouring salt into his dad's coffee. Now you might be thinking, oh, the classic salt in the coffee prank. That's always classic. That's always a funny one. Yeah. Well, too bad the dad never actually drank the coffee. But somebody did. Somebody actually did drink the coffee though. The kid who put the salt in the coffee drank the coffee. So Felix gets called out to where the first elevator scene happened, and we get some brilliant dialogue between him and the receptionist.
You look like you had a little party yourself.
I walked into a door.
So Felix looks through all the parts of the elevator and establishes that it's 100% fine. He then goes home and does some heavy drinking with his wife or does some heavy drinking because they are in this
What was wrong
film.
with the lift this morning?
I wasn't serious. I think it was only a short circuit.
But some people almost choked to death.
Yeah, they just come out of the restaurant. I suppose it could have been what they ate.
The food there couldn't have been that awful.
Well, something else got to them. The lift systems were perfect.
I guess that must have been it then. Don't throw that away.
What?
The caps. I'm saving the caps.
The caps? What for?
You can win a trip to Hawaii if you have 100.
Now, why would you want to take a trip to Hawaii?
Yeah! Why would you want to take a trip to Hawaii? Woman?
You're not very romantic anymore, are you?
No, I'm still that way. In fact, I'd like to be on the river right now.
I mean, Felix, you do realize that Hawaii isn't on a river, right? Small geography lesson, like most people know this one. Hawaii is not on a river. It's in an ocean. So that night, the elevator is playing games with the security guards and lures them upstairs.
Gets out. Come on.
So this is a blind guy who died earlier in the film, but he didn't die in vain. He gave some real Oscar award-winning dialogue before his demise, and we'll just pay tribute to that right now.
Mr. Fink!
Huh?
Your pen, you forgot it.
Did I? How careless of me. It's a souvenir that has great meaning. I don't know how I could have forgotten it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Good day, Mr. Fink.
Good day.
Now back to the current night. The elevator lured the two security guards upstairs and now setting its own little trap.
Keith!
What is it?
There's someone down there. There's a man in the shaft. Help me, damn it! Help me! Get me out! Do something quick!
I'll call the police. Do you have the number?
Are you serious? Are you serious right now, Keith? You are not the one who should be asking for help.
The lift!
I mean, honestly, Keith is not the type of person that you want on your team. In fact, Keith is the type of person you don't even want near you because he probably poses a greater danger to you just by existing. So now after 2 murders, the police get involved.
They told me that these lifts were safe, that there was nothing that could go wrong. And now a thing like this happens.
This isn't the first accident I've come across with a lift, and it won't be the last one either. I don't much like lifts. I prefer the stairs myself. They're a lot safer. It's too long a time in a small space, and I suffer from claustrophobia. That's why I became a policeman.
What? What? You became a policeman? Why?
I don't much like lifts. I prefer the stairs myself. They're a lot safer. It's too long a time in a small space, and I suffer from claustrophobia. That's why I became a policeman.
Kids, you don't like elevators? You have claustrophobia? What? The one thing that is absolutely crazy about this film is how much anti-elevator propaganda there is. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Ah, Schmidt. I was just asking this gentleman here how many people he thought got stuck in elevators every year in this country. Tell him.
250,000.
That's unbelievable.
It really makes you kind of wonder, what happened? What happened, Dick? What happened in your childhood that made you make this film? There had to have been an event that happened in an elevator. You don't have to talk about it. You don't have to come forward. Just know. We know that something happened, and we're with you, Dick. We're with you. We want to see you get through this.
Will your readers find that interesting?
It's from my
cringe
collection.
We're then introduced to this lady who's a journalist, and she's doing a report on a killer elevator or something. I don't even know. Honestly, I don't know, and I don't care. I really don't even care, and you shouldn't care either. Might I remind you, this is a film about a killer elevator. But I remind you even more, this is a film about a killer elevator that's not even satirical. But speaking of killer elevators, the killer elevator, he's at it again. I don't know if it's actually a guy or a girl. I mean, it kind of makes sense if it's a girl. The elevator tries to kill this little girl, and honestly, it's almost a good scene. This is so close to being a good scene. If it just wasn't intercut with the most cringy office affair ever filmed.
You're wearing black underwear.
Just for you.
But the film goes on with what feels like an eternity of countless irrelevant and confusing lines of dialogue.
You know that blonde in administration? Yeah, in administration. I've got a date with her.
Who hasn't?
They say she shaves herself down below.
Why would anybody live at their office?
Yeah, I might have time.
Yeah,
I mean,
if you
I
have
don't.
any news about the lift, call me at the magazine, okay?
You know what? I'm gonna retire and let my mother-in-law work. Now that's a good idea.
And whenever you are not confused by lines of dialogue, you are literally being bored to death with elevator facts. No, I'm serious. There is actually a scene in a restaurant where they literally go through the inner workings of an elevator.
Now, the electronic section guides lifts and sees that they don't all stop at one floor at the same time. It also controls the doors.
That's pretty much what it does.
But oh yeah, how can I have forgot about the child abuse?
What have you been up to? Look what you've done to your doll.
That happened? That actually happened in this film? Yeah, it got uncomfortable. It got uncomfortable for me too. Yeah. Anyways, Felix and the reporter go on a series of missions to find clues, I guess, about the killer elevator, and of course, the first place they go is a insane asylum. Because why wouldn't they? Apparently, this guy's the old elevator repairman. Real hard job, guys. Real hard job. Really mentally taxing. After that, they visit an elevator manufacturer, and then they visit a computer professor who ends up telling us the actual plot of the film.
With these chips that were made completely out of protein. Imagine that. A chip made out of pure organic material.
Fantastic. You mean it worked?
It proved an awful failure. It turned out the chips were so unstable and irregular, they instantly started to reprogram in the computer. But the most fascinating thing of all was, these chips of protein lost control and reproduced themselves over and over again. The computer began to create its own chips.
It began to grow. Can you believe it?
Yeah, tell me. Did somebody bury that one?
I have no idea. It might have committed suicide by now.
So that's the actual missing plot point of the film. The computer that's controlling the elevator is made out of protein and it's alive, which is actually a really cool idea. And it kind of sucks that they wasted this idea on a freaking elevator. Anyways, we also cannot breeze by the fact that it's just the fact of like your computer committed suicide. Suicide is not funny and it's not something we should laugh at, but if you're just like on Facebook and your computer just kills itself. So after meeting with the professor, Felix and the reporter decide to break into the building at night and kill the elevator. Why is that an actual sentence I said? Felix then tries to kill the brain of the elevator, which is it's clearly alive because I mean it's blue. It's blue and gooey. That's what elevator brains looks like. But the elevator fights back, just how you would expect an elevator to fight back. Oh, watch out there, fella. Looks like you got an elevator there after you. Don't worry. The thing can only go 2 directions, up and down. It really should not be that difficult not to get hit by this thing. So after some riveting fight scenes between man and machine, the epic plot twist happens, and the elevator manufacturer guy comes in with a gun and shoots the elevator. But the elevator doesn't die because the elevator then kills him. And that's the end of the film. Oh yeah, Felix's wife leaves him also. What? Yep, that's the film. That's the lift, guys. That's the lift. Don't ever get an elevator again. They will 100% guaranteed, without a shadow of a doubt, kill you.